Pass your awareness down the body, starting at the head. Let me know if you find anything.
I just have a little bit of heaviness in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there might be like a brick on it.
Okay. So let's focus on that brick. I want you to connect very deeply with that heaviness there on the chest, connecting very deeply.
There's somebody with their foot on the brick, pushing down on it.
Do you get a sense of who that is that has their foot on that brick?
A mighty, dark warrior.
Tell me more about this mighty dark warrior.
He's in all black. He has a cape, black, like combat boots on. He's just like pushing down, although it's starting to release a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Why is it?
He's being removed.
Who is it that's removing him?
There's multiple people, my protectors, people I invited in. We invited into the session.
Yes.
They're removing him, and it's releasing. Now they're removing the brick from, and they're actually like breaking it up into little dust pieces and like disintegrating it.
Wonderful. Tell me what happens next.
He's like kicking, but he doesn't have any more power. He's powerless now. They're just removing him out of my energy space. I just want to say bye-bye.
What do we need to know about this dark warrior and why he was here today?
Thwart progress, my mission, stop me from speaking, close my mouth, cause anxiety, fear, panic, keep me from speaking. Yeah.
And has he been there with you for a while, or did he just show up for today's session?
He comes and goes.
Okay. And what do we need to do to make sure that he doesn't come back?
He's been causing me some heart palpitations on my chest, in my heart.
What can we place around the heart today to make sure that he's not able to affect your heart moving forward?
Ring of fire, bright light, barrier, white flames. Oh, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm. I want you to visualize that beautiful, bright ring of fire around the heart, those beautiful white flames. I want you to see that heart space fully encompassed by those flames. Tell me how that feels or what you notice.
I heard that heart and third eye are connected, and they go through the heart to get to the third eye. And that white flame is representative of the third eye protection. And while you were putting me under, I saw when the cord of light went through the sun, I brought in the light of Christ and his protection, but then it kept going up to source. And source was, I was told, was my third eye. Source is the third eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then and so my feet grounding to Heavenly Mother, it connects all the dots. So I'm connecting source with Christ, which is Father, which is Mother. It's the family, and I'm connecting them all in a big circle, starting with source, which is the third eye, which starts there, which the third eye is the top, which is love, not pride, which is what the opposite with the darks. With the darks, it's pride, but with light, it's love and it's source. And it starts with the third eye, opening, connecting, grounding. It's all like a big circle of flowing energy. And then I brought in my higher self. My higher self came in, and so this was all happening as I'm going under. This is what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
My higher self was in armor, and she came in and started carrying me like a baby and was putting me to sleep and stayed with me until that moment when, right before going down the staircase and the bright light surrounded us, and we became one. Like I arose in my sleep, still asleep, but we like connected timelines, and I became one with my higher self. And it's the first time I've gone down the stairs with my higher self into the garden. And I started off in my armor, and then as I went to the garden, I was in like this beautiful flowy garden dress, and it kept showing me back and forth of connecting timelines into the garden of myself.
Beautiful. Very good. So let's start back with that ring of fire, because that was one of your questions about the ring of fire and the significance of it. What do you need to know about working with that ring of fire? What's important about it?
It changes color. I'm trying to understand why. I've seen it as orange flames, but I saw it as white, protecting my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Orange.
Is it important to put that flame around the hearts to protect them from getting to the third eye? Do you place it around both spaces?
I was only shown the heart. I only needed to, it's source. Source is light being placed around my heart, and it's interconnected with the third eye. But they can get to you through the heart. That's how they get to the third eye. So you place it there. The eye is already protected. It's the orange flame, which is not white. It's, what does orange represent? Godly flame.
Mm-hmm. The orange flame goes around the third eye.
Yeah. And it looks like fire, but it's like a godly flame of protection, higher level of protection. The white represents purity. The orange represents, it's like orangey red. You're trying to, my third eye slowly opening. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a focal point, all seeing. It's like they're zoning me in. I'm like focus. I'm zoning in. It's like I feel it physically and they're trying to show me something.
Mm-hmm.
Represents power, but not dark power, light power. Power in connecting with source, using that energy with yourself. It creates this flame of protection. So the white around the heart is source, but you're bringing in more into your third eye when it opens. It's not just source. It's like everything. You, your higher self. It's like Christ. It's like everything. And so the color hat is more vibrant. It can be seen from all universes. It's a signal flare. It unites. It brings in. It brings it all in. It's bringing it all in to focus. People, being, knowledge, wisdom, all of it. It's more than, it's everything,
Mm.
and all that has been and is, and it's just really big.
Beautiful.
I can feel it all the way to my toes.
Tell me more about the diagram, the vision that Julie saw with Christ on the cross as it pertains to the two triangles and the circle related to the third eye, that vision that she was shown. What are all those connections that she's making in that vision?
It's everything and it's it's all of everything that breathes light and life. He's open on the cross. He's not closed. His arms are open. He's bringing in everything. It's all encompassing. It's love. It's he's not closed. He's open, and it's energy it's just energy that continuous. It doesn't stop. It doesn't cut off. He doesn't cut off anything. It's so loving. Using his hands to project out love and light through the sign, through the points of his hands, the light going out of love, even to the people who put him there. He didn't close off to them. He didn't reject them. He opened to them, and he brought in everybody. It's it's like all connecting, like it's all connecting with source and everything, and it's all encompassing for every personality, every type of person, all the sins, the sins of the world. It's like it's a portal. He opened a It's like a portal, letting everything in, so he could suffer for everything he created. He created this portal with his body, with the center being the heart, the solar plexus, the universes. It's where it's where he meets us. Why is it spinning? Energy flowing.
Tell me what you see.
I see him spinning on the cross, like in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like his body is spinning, or the energy is spinning around his body.
His body is spinning,
Mm-hmm.
like in a wheel. He's like moving the energy, like a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
So Oh, it's slowing down, focusing in.
What happens when he moves the energy around?
It's like it's having a ripple effect of like moving towards everything that's alive and every living thing. So it can like touch every living thing. They're trying to have me focus on the center. I'm trying to focus.
Mm-hmm. Just allow yourself to just focus right there on that center, bringing all of your attention right where they want to show you. What do you see?
I'm hearing a heartbeat. There's people, lots and lots of people that are gathering. So he opened the portal so that all could witness his sacrifice, his great sacrifice. He opened a portal. Oh wait, it's a light portal. Because he was so open. His heart was so open. He connected to everything and everyone, and he let them in, and he suffered for them, and they gathered. It's connected. Now we open portals to gather through our heart energy, through being open. He's representing, it's symbolic, teaching moment. To not close off our hearts, to open our energies, not to close our energies. And it has to be it has to be moving. Our energy has to be moving, has to continue to move, flowing without getting stuck, no blocks. It has to be continuous. That's what he was doing. He was like moving the energy. He was opening himself completely, connected all the dots. You have to connect everything. You have to connect source with Christ, with Mother. You have to connect all the points. There's something I'm missing. There's another point. You have Father, His Son, Mother, and Source. Those are the key points that you connect to have the flowing energy. You need all of them. You have to bring them all in. It's the family. That's how you gather.
So
You're opening portals.
These points, you said Father, Son, where do those connect?
They're here, 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 and here.
Mm-hmm.
On the clock, 12, 3, 6, 9.
And are those points on the body as well? The Father, Son. Did you say source was like the
Yes.
third eye? Does that
Third eye, hand, feet. That's the connecting points.
okay?
And then you have the inter points. The inter points in between, the quarter points. They're still part of the family. I don't know who they are. They're part of the family.
And so tell me more about the energy that has to flow through those points.
It's pure light energy. It's love. It's all from the heart beating. It's the pulses, the heartbeat pulses. It's a pulse. It's the Wi-Fi. It goes out like a pulse, like the heart. And it's a ripple effect. And it connects you to universes. Like our Wi-Fi is bigger than their Wi-Fi. Their Wi-Fi is limited. Ours is unlimited. It's pure. It has no limitations. It can go out further than you can imagine and
And
connect.
so when you say their Wi-Fi, you're speaking of the energy that the darkness is sending out. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. It's
Okay.
it's how I see it with the ripples and the lines
Mm-hmm.
pulsing out and connecting and gathering. And they do it in a way that puts out dark energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not pure. We have to take it back and reverse it. And no, not they reversed it. We have to bring it back to where it was originally. Take it back. The only way to do that is through us, through humanity, changing our hearts, opening our hearts, uniting, connecting, gathering each other together in love. It's all representative of him on the cross. Peace. He created a peace sign in his shape. It was symbolic. It's all about peace.
Tell me more about the portal. So as he's there on the cross in that position and the energy is flowing around him and his heart is open, tell me more about the portal that he was creating.
It's the ultimate portal. It brought everything in. It's the biggest portal that's ever been opened ever. I mean, it brought in trees and grass and birds and everything because he wanted everything to feel of his love and his sacrifice. He was gathering, he was uniting. Oh my goodness.
What do you
So
say?
it was such a light experience. It was so massive and so big that on this planet, we always have to have equal opposition. And so after that experience, then came that dark experience because it had to equal the light experience with the earthquakes and the everything that happened. It had to be the complete opposite. All the destruction that came after he passed. It was this beautiful light experience. People felt it. It was seen through and felt, and it all brought together. We were all there. And it was so bright and so light that it had to have the complete opposite happen. And that's why all that destruction and darkness came after.
Do you feel like that's what we're walking through now, but in the complete reverse? So we're about to head into some really dark times so that we
Yes.
can talk to me about that.
So everything started on this planet so light. It was so beautiful. It was like a giant portal of light. We were in a higher dimension, and then everything had to fall. We had to experience the fall in order to cleanse out the darkness, to be tested, to prove ourselves, to remove the darkness, but to give them like another chance. But it was all so bright and so light. Places that are so dark right now were some of the lightest and brightest. And we have to experience, yes. Oh my gosh. It was an example of what we're to experience. But it will be in the reverse because the first will come last and the last will come first. So we will experience that darkness. It has to be cleansed. It has to be, but then something beautiful and light is going to come in the opposite. Like the darker the darkness is, the brighter the light is going to be. Like we will experience horrible things, but not to fear, because just think of what's to come after that. If we have to go through all of that, think of how bright and light and beautiful. And it will be like a giant portal of light, bringing in all that is good and all that is light and all that radiates, like a ripple effect of that pulsing heartbeat of like goodness and light throughout the entire universes. Wow, that connection. It's like he was trying to teach us something, to show us it's going to be okay. And you have to go through that to go through that. But see, it started with the light and then went to the dark, but we have to do the opposite. We have to, it's the first will be last, the last will be first. It's all over the scriptures. Makes so much sense now.
Mm.
And I see that I feel the light, like I can feel what that light will be like. I don't even think I can contain it because it's so too much of it's too much, but like it's gonna be so, and we were there to experience it with him. That was part of the atonement. And we were there to experience with him so we'd have a taste of what it felt like so that we could get through, because we all were there, and so we could get through what's to come. We were allowed to experience it as a tender mercy so that we know what it feels like. We had a taste of it. And these portals that they're opening, these dark portals that they're doing at like a lower scale,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing compared to what we can open with our hearts and being open and bringing in source and bringing in mother and father and mother earth, all of it. It's nothing compared.
Well, let's talk a little bit about those dark portals because that's one of your questions. Um, you had been noticing dark portals being opened through some of the entertainment things that have been happening. For instance, the Super Bowl performance and the performance at the Grammys and different things where we can see these satanic rituals happening. Tell me about those portals that they're opening. What are they trying to do?
They are bringing in as much warfare, spiritual weapons on a dark side for battle as they can. It's connected to Magog and Gog, and they're showing me the Black Sea. The Black Sea. Whoa, the Black Sea is a giant portal. I was just in Istanbul, Turkey, next to the Black Sea, and there was so much sadness. It was so dark. It was energy was so heavy and like I felt it. Like I felt the darkness there in a way that like was trying to affect me. Like the Black Sea is actually like um tar, tar that's like moving and like sticking. It's like moving out and it's sticking to people. And it tried to stick to me. And I had to like do all these things to keep it from doing that. I felt it while I was there. I think it wasn't a coincidence I went there. I was supposed to feel that that difference
Mm-hmm.
in energy, but the Black Sea is next to these different places like Ukraine and Russia and these places. And it's part of the leader of Satan's army getting ready to go to battle, who is using his, so Rihanna had her what are they telling me? Slaves, her slaves under her. She was representing, she's possessed and sold her soul and is representing this them opening these portals, bringing in their slaves, and they're getting their armies together. That was like a representative of their armies. And they did it in white to like laugh at us. They just keep trying to take so much and abscond so much and laugh at us in connection to them switching the red carpet out. They switched the red carpet. It's no longer red. I think it was white.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're literally they're trying to, number one, they're trying to those who are asleep um confuse them so that they think that they're light, that this is light stuff. they're bringing in Taylor Swift now in her concert. So many people idolizing her. There's more going on even with Taylor Swift. It's all part of their plan to keep.
Tell me what you see with Taylor Swift.
She's gross. I see her face. Ugh. People are going to be really mad at me.
That's okay.
A lot of Taylor Swift lovers out there, but it's gross.
I saw a video just last night. It's interesting that you're bringing her up. So, just tell us what you see.
Well, they're just using everything they can to deceive, like things that look good and look like everybody loves her, but it's like she's another idol. She's just another one that they've like slowly taken over with her ego and fame. And oh my gosh, it's just my head.
Something that I saw last night said she has a connection to I don't know what her name is, but a satanic person, and they look identical.
Oh,
I wish I could think of the name. Yeah.
I
wonder if she has a connection to that.
It's like they're peeling off her skin and I'm seeing what's underneath. And it's just so gross and demonic. Mm-hmm. And like, she's almost like a puppet now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like an idol. I see her now growing into a statue of like something gold, of like something that everyone's idolizing and obsessed with in a way that's like they don't even see. This is the thing. This is what they keep showing me, is that they're reminding me of this dream I had with the earthquake. So it represents, they're giving me more about the dream because I want to, okay, this was a really profound dream for me. I want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
So originally in the dream, I was in a church house, but now they're showing me it's the world. It wasn't a church house. Think bigger. They're saying think bigger. So I'm going to replace my dream with what they're telling me.
Okay.
I was in the world as a spectator, and I was supposed to observe what was going on. And so before in the dream, it was the leaders, the priests and stuff, mocking and doing things like that were inappropriate in a church house. But the bigger scale, it's events, it's the Super Bowl, it's the Grammys, it's Taylor Swift concerts, it's all of these things that people go and they are watching, and things are happening right in front of them that are so wrong, and they know that it's wrong. And you have different groups of people. You have some that are watching and they're like disturbed and upset, but they don't leave. They just continue to watch because they either don't want to be judged for saying something, or they're worried about walking out and being like embarrassed, or like, oh, they won't think I'm cool or something like that. Then you have the group of people that just totally go along with it and make excuses for it. And it's like, oh, well, this is our world now, or, oh, it's funny. They have to think bigger. They have to do something to get our attention. So they make excuses. And then you have the group of people that are just totally oblivious. They're just entertained by it and laughing and totally oblivious. It's different levels of people. And then, but nobody walks out. Nobody says this is not okay. Nobody says enough is enough. That was in my dream. I was observing as nobody walked out of that church house and said, this is not okay. They all just sat there and allowed it to happen. And that's what's happening. People just sit there and watch the Super Bowl. People just go and watch the Grammys, and they talk about the outfits, or they talk about, and I was one of those. I mean, it was in my business. I'd watch the clothes, but I can't watch it anymore. Like, there's so much more going on behind the scenes. You have to take the blinders off, and we need like a code word or something to remove the blinders. Those listening to the session, set in like a trigger motion to like remove the blinders, remove the earmuffs, have eyes to see what's really happening, because there's so much going on in other dimensions on these things, and you can't just sit and watch anymore. It's actually it's burning your pupils. It's closing your third eye. It's actually it's dimming. It's dimming your third eye. Mm, there's a word. It's uh,
Calcifying.
yes, yes, that's the word. I love when our guides help us together.
Yeah.
Yes, calcifying. It's totally ruining you can't watch it anymore and not do something about it because you won't be able to have eyes to see. You won't be able to open up your third eye. It'll be harder. It's going to take a lot more work to learn how to do that if you watch and allow this stuff to happen right in front of you and not see what's actually happening. And so in the dream, after those wouldn't walk out, I was shown that there was some of us who were there as spectators to observe, those of us who would have walked out or will walk out or won't allow it. There are those of us who are have our eyes open and awake to that. We started the cleanup. In the church, we started cleaning up, but we also had to shift the energy. We had to transform, transmute, shift it, change it with bringing in love and bringing in cleanliness and pureness and purity. What we were doing in the dream is we were cleaning up the first level. And they told me after we cleaned up the first level that it was time to go to the second level. And I remember my dream thinking there isn't two levels usually in church buildings, but this is representing the world, the planet moving up. It's fallen and it's been in this telestial, this lower dimension, lower vibration state, and it is moving up. And we have to move up with it. And those of us who are moving up with it have to go to the next level and we have to clean up the next level. And it's going to be harder. And in the next level, there were some people there. And there was like a guy that came up to me and he said that he has the gift of dreams, but he was scared to share his dreams and open his mouth. And I told him he needed to open up his mouth because I said, you cannot be afraid. You need to share. You need to open because that's what we're here to do. We need to share this with the world. And he was scared. And so he stayed in that second level. And we were told to go to the third level, the higher dimension, third level. There was less people there, each level, less and less people. And we were to clean up there as well. And I remember the very end of the dream, I was told, this is why Utah will have an earthquake. But it's bigger scale. That was just for where I live. It's not just Utah. This is why the world will have tribulations. This is why the world is going into tribulations, hard things to come. Utah, because it's where I live and it's going to start here with an earthquake, but it will be a ripple effect that goes out. And there will be so much dark sadness and darkness that we're going to have to experience in tribulations, but it's all for the better because the light to come, and we will continue rising up to these other dimensions if we continue to move with the earth as it moves, because it will shift and it will continue to move up with the tribulations that happen that cleanse. Each cleansing will move it up to a higher level. There's going to be less and less people there if you don't choose to see and to do something and to open your mouth and to cleanse and to be part of it. Whoa.
Wow.
This is really cool because I've had this dream years ago and it keeps coming to my mind, but for them to show me on a global scale what it actually meant is so, so cool.
Hmm. So, as they are opening their dark portals and bringing in dark energies, how is it that those of us who are aware of this, how do we counteract that? What do we do?
We got to open up light portals. And the way we do that is ways that you don't even know you're doing it. It's sharing your heart with somebody else. It's opening up your mouth. It's unifying with somebody that you might not unify with, somebody that would upsets you, somebody that offends you, that you normally would trigger you. It's you not getting triggered and showing them compassion and patience and love and forgiveness. These open up light portals, they do their satanic rituals to open them, but we don't have to do that. It's so much easier for us to turn on one light and it light up a room. They have to do these dark, dark things to create this darkness to flood the earth. Well, you just have to turn on a light. And the only way you can turn on a light by just showing a little bit of light, like showing your light, sharing your light, connecting your heart with somebody else's, and doing the opposite of what they want you to do, the darks want you to do in a situation, that's bigger. That opens up even a bigger portal if you could not get triggered. It's all about the Enneagram, where every number has their gifts, but we all have our sins connected to it. So you've got gluttony and pride and sloth and anger and envy. Those are the 9 deadly sins. And we all have one of those connected to our 9 gifts. So your gift of 9 being a love, but sloth being their deadly sin, we have to learn to not get triggered. And when you don't get triggered and you bring in all the numbers, when you choose to understand what a 3 is going through with their difficulty with needing to achieve and not to fail, when you can tap into that and realize what they're going through and bring that into your energy system, then you empathize with them. And then you don't get triggered because you know that they're struggling too, because we're all sinners. We're all dealing with our deadly sin. And by bringing in each number and their gifts and even understanding their perspective and where they're coming from, you have more empathy and love. And that's what creates that unconditional love. It keeps it spinning and going and moving and rippling out. And instead of being triggered, when you get triggered, you're doing the opposite. You're closing portals. You're opening up dark portals into your life. It's so much easier for us to do it. That's why we can conquer this and win this battle, is because we can do it by just turning on a light switch.
Wonderful. So let's talk about, you mentioned earthquakes, and that was one of the questions. Is there going to be an earthquake happening this year and possibly in the month of April and May in Utah? What information comes through about that?
So something else is trying to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in, what are we bringing in? It's very slow, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
It's like coming towards me. This light source coming to my third eye. It's an angelic being. Who is this? I keep hearing Father Time, but it sounds weird.
Mm-hmm.
So should we go with it?
Yeah. What about Father Time? What do we need to know about that?
Time is irrelevant. So we're putting out dates and months. We have to, they want us to understand it. Time. Are we going to have a time lesson?
Mm-hmm. That'd be great. Help us to understand time outside of this dimension, or outside of this realm.
So I'm seeing a bunch of clocks and they're all being smashed. So we're supposed to
No time.
no time. We're supposed to throw that out of like our thought, yeah. Just let's get rid of that right now. Okay. So what are we bringing in? Just energy. So the energy in Utah and on this planet, it's has levels of light and darkness. So they like on a scale. So they're bringing in scales. So they're weighing out. This is kind of cool. I'm literally seeing like whoever Father Time represents with a scale, weighing out light and darkness. It's like a little. They're dumbing it down. Okay. So the darkness in Utah has outweighed the scale. It's tipped. It's tipping.
Mm-hmm.
And once it tips to where it's supposed to tip, that's when the earthquake will happen. and we're right teetering on that
Do you mean when there's more darkness or when
yes.
they come back into balance?
No, when there's more dark, when it goes boop.
Okay.
So right now it's like doing this, he's showing
Mm-hmm.
me, and
Mm-hmm.
it only has to do a little bit more, just a little bit more. Oh my gosh. That's insane.
What do you see?
It's having to do with the Taylor Swift concert. How is that? That's crazy.
We need more explanation around that, please.
It's the when is Taylor Swift coming to Utah? I don't even know. Apparently she's coming here or close, or is she coming here?
I'm
I
not
don't even
sure.
know, but it's something with the Taylor Swift concert. She has how the crap. Oh my gosh, maybe that's why I saw her so dark. This is crazy. That is going to be a tipping point of the darkness doing that starts a ripple effect because there's so many people that idolize her. It's like the big idol right now. She's like standing as the statue of idolism of like they have gotten even the light people hooked. Like they have totally um deceived those that are so light in connection with the vaccination. Oh my gosh, they started with the vaccination to uh these words they keep giving me desensitize or
Mm-hmm.
less numb, like more numbness and
Yeah.
desensitization,
Mm-hmm.
so that they don't even realize
It's
like
almost
it's
like a disconnection from your soul, is
yes,
what I've
yes,
been told in other sessions.
yes. So they think that like she's this great like light person and that this is a great thing that they're doing. I mean, they were on the phones for hours and hours. They like shut down when people were trying to get her tickets. It literally shut down like the internet, everything, like everything went down or something. Like it was impossible to get tickets. People were getting tickets for hours, like stayed on the phone all day or their computers or wherever to get
Mm-hmm.
tickets for hours, totally like their eyes like zombie like spinning like their eyes, the desensitization of their eyes with the what's the word you used, the
Um,
with uh,
it's gone out of my mind.
I
Oh,
forgot
the
yes,
calcification. Yeah.
yes, calcification. That's, and I see their eyes with like one of those spinning the toys with the colors like green
Mm-hmm.
that spin like they're totally zombies.
Yeah.
They're doing it to those, and it started with the vaccine because they knew that maybe they couldn't get there without starting with that, and so they're bringing in things that like people think are good and light, and that's what makes it even worse. That's why it's so much worse, is because um it's like they're tricking them. It's all like deceit and deceiving, and it's the Taylor Swift concert.
So does does do celebrities like her, do they have an awareness that this is happening? Are they participating in this, or do they have handlers that are doing all of this
um
around them?
they just showed me her like a puppet. They've got
Yeah.
strings and she's a puppet,
So she's
and
just
they're
doing what she's being told. She doesn't
yes,
necessarily have an awareness of all of the
her
rituals.
her her soul has an awareness,
Right.
but not her
Not
like
her human body,
not her
her
human
human
body.
self.
Yes, it starts slowly. They start with them very slowly, line upon line, just like they do with the light. As you ascend in the light, it's line upon line. They start you off with this little thing and this little thing, and you get poor in spirit, and then you go to God and you confess your sins, and then because of that, you're more open to God's love, and it's line upon line. They do the same thing. It's a little bit of like, oh, I had a little bit of fame, and then oh, the money, oh, that's nice. And then, oh, people are listening to what I say. Like I have something to say and they listen to me, and and I've got power in that. And then from there it's I have a voice. I'm somebody, and an ego, and then pride, and then prestige, and then fame, and then money and greed, and all of those things start going in little until little pieces of themselves are going and going and going until they're like gone. So that's why people got hooked on Taylor when she was light, but it slowly turned. And now she is darker than ever, but people can't see it because they got hooked in early on, and they can't see it. They're like, what? No. How could that be? This is Taylor from the beginning.
Mm,
But she slowly lost pieces of her. She's like not her anymore. It's like they slowly, as ascended beings, slowly get more light and slowly grow in that light and become brighter. They become slowly darker.
mm. It's interesting because she's been popping up on my TikTok feed lately, and it has been all about how dark she is. Not in her awareness, but these
Right.
things that we're talking about. And of course, my mind wants to go, no, not Taylor Swift.
It's sad. It's sad because they just need like one spark of something to pull them. And they're not like gone forever. Like
Right.
there's always an opportunity, but they have to choose to, she has to choose to
Yeah.
not be famous or choose, she has to do the opposite. But
This may be a big life lesson for her as well.
mhm,
Wonder what her soul chose to experience in this life.
right. Yeah. And it could be that she chose differently,
Mm-hmm.
but once there is some like they take they take the thing, even I'm even seeing this in the Enneagram numbers. They take your deadly sin. They know your weaknesses. They use it. And that's what they use to try to pull you down. Um, so whether, if her deadly sin was achievement, and she can't fail. See, those achievers need to fail because that's when you have the humility, and that's when, but if everything about you is to achieve and not fail, then they're gonna use that. Or gluttony, more is more. They're going to use that, like, I need more, and that can pull you down. You have to choose to say less is less.
Mm.
Anger, you have to choose to not be triggered in your anger. They use these deadly sins against us to pull us down, and we're all susceptible to it. We all are. And we can pray for them, and we can send out love energy to them, but ultimately they have to choose. Ultimately they are the ones. But by us going and supporting it and going to the concerts and supporting it and help, it just feeds it. It just grows and feeds on it. it's it's like the Black Sea, feeding and moving and growing with the thoughts and energy, and everything surrounding it just keeps pushing out. And we have to get it back in. We have to get it contained. We have to get it removed. We have to get it, like as they disintegrated the brick and they just removed it. We have to like
Mm.
disintegrate it, remove that energy.
And so, how do we do that when there are so many people that are completely unaware of any of these topics that we're discussing today? And they're all just living their life normally, going about day to day, going to concerts, having a good time. How do we help those people, or how do we shift that energy?
It's connecting chords. It's the gathering. It's the opening up your mouth when you do gather. It's sharing whatever you can, because everything comes out of your mouth. Even your thoughts have a ripple effect. It's the new Wi-Fi. It's the way that we can put out enough ripple light energy that it will overtake the dark energy. And it has to, I mean, we can do all that we can do, but we are at that scale, that tipping point where it has to be cleansed, as it has in other time periods of this earth, where it's Noah's time or the flood. I mean, we have to be cleansed because they won't even have their blinders taken off. They won't even have their earmuffs taken off until they can go through some really hard things where they're like, oh, and that humility comes in, and they're like, I can see now. And they start helping other people in destruction. And I mean, with the earthquake, I've seen and dreamed that it wakes people up. It's called the wake up earthquake, because people now start all the distractions that they've used with all this stuff, like the Taylor Swift concert and everything, they're just distractions to keep them from doing or seeing what they're supposed to actually be doing, helping each other, serving each other, loving each other, uniting, doing that work rather than just, oh, distract, phones, concerts, Super Bowls, Grammys. It's a way for people to check out because they can't handle their life. But just wait, like they think they can't handle this. It's so much more to come to wake them up, and that's what it takes. It's going to take a big shaking to wake them up. It's literal and figurative. It's a shaking. It's just not an earthquake on the planet. It's a shaking in their lives. They have to have a shake up to say, oh, wait a second. Like it's not about this. It's about me, like my neighbor who just, lost everything, or this child that's now lost its parents, or it's that's what they have to get back to here. They have to get back to this. They have to become open again. They have so many blocks. They got to remove the blocks that from their heart and be open, like completely open, like Christ was, to let all that light in, all that love in, all that goodness in. And it's going to take the shaking for it to change hearts.
Let's talk about some of these things that are to come. What are some of these events and things that will shake people awake?
You got Father Time back here again. You just bring him in. I mean, he's not all the way in. A screen is coming up. He wants to show me like a movie. He's using his white robe, like opening it up, and the screen appeared. I'm getting distracted because I want to know who Father Time is.
Let's ask, is this one of your guides, or it's just a being here to assist us today?
He is an archangel with the gifts of the window to life, showing people their window of life and more. So we call him Father Time, but he's called something different.
Does he have a name that he can share with us?
Yes. I know who this is. It's so familiar. It's like on the brink. He walks the earth. He's a translated being that's able to walk the earth. So he's chosen to stay. He can go back and forth. So he can take on a body, and he can appear as human form, and he comes to lots of people as their guide, to guide them through experiences. A lot of time when they're near death, or when the veil's thin, he shows them, he takes them on a journey, and he can do it in real, like human form. He visits. He's visited me. He's visited me on an airplane. Wait, that was him. He was in human form. He sat next to me on an airplane. Years ago, he asked me a bunch of questions about my life and told me that I was doing good. Said I was on the right path and I was doing the right thing. I remember this instant. It was so crazy. I'm like, who is this man? That was him. I don't know his name, but I know him. he takes people on journeys. He shows you your window of life, gives you glimpses into it, helps you, like the Akashi records. Um, it's like his gift. It's like his gifts that he has to be able to do this, to show us um, things to come, things that have been. He's past, present, future. He's now. He's all of time's not the world, but or the word, but he represents.
Not Metatron, is it?
It's so interesting you said that because something similar to that name came in earlier, but I couldn't put it into words. But let me just ask because it's not exactly what I got, but I got something with an M and me. You call him Metatron. I've heard him as Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I've heard him outside my window.
Didn't you ask about that in another session?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard him multiple times outside my window. I never feel scared. I just
Mm-hmm.
hear him. And he sounds like kind of like a machine.
Mm-hmm.
Um oh, he's like laughing at me like he's kind of clapping like
Did we get it?
you're, connect-
Metatron.
you're connecting dots. I'm so proud of you.
What
He's
is
doing a
Meta?
little okay, he's got a personality.
What does Metatron want to share with us today?
Um it's so weird you're calling him that because it's not how I've heard it. So but do you know what? That sounds probably more right. He says he can go by any of it. Like it's how we
Yeah.
hear him, right?
Yeah,
Like, okay.
absolutely.
Um, okay, he's very enthusiastic right now. So we're gonna open up the screen. Probably because it's about to get heavy. Oh yeah. We're gonna start with some, the winds are picking up. They've started off slow, but they're picking up. You've felt it around the world. Heavier winds that are gonna turn into more like hurricane winds or worse. We're supposed to stay ahead of the wind, not get caught up in it. We don't want to be swept up in the wind. So we have to stay ahead of it because the winds are picking up. And that's symbolic in lots of different um, natural disasters, from tsunamis to earthquakes to hurricanes in places that you wouldn't expect a hurricane, not even by the waters. Hurricane like winds in cities, in towns, in anywhere is possible. Much destruction. I'm seeing him sweeping across the planet. He's using his motion of his robe. And then it's waves. It's coming in waves. First wave, second wave, third wave. We've got the earthquakes and the destruction coming is the first wave. The winds, the tsunamis, the hurricanes, the tornadoes. That's the first wave. The second wave is more is heavy, more pandemics at a heavier, bigger scale. Depopulation is their goal. And so bigger pandemics coming, sicknesses.
Will these be similar to what we've been through or different?
Worse, a lot worse. This is just, that was just to see what they could get away with, how much that they could control, what would we like bow down to, like what would we, I see people like begging for help. They'll do anything to survive. And so they trust their government. They trust those who come in to say, we're here to rescue you and help you, but they're lying. I see things on doors, plague on people's doors, bodies, body bags, in like big piles of body bags. Camps, buses, people going on buses to camps, saying we're here to help you. Even other countries coming in saying they're here to help us. Other countries, China, Russia. We have sleeper cells. They're already being placed. They already know it's coming. You have to listen to. They want me to share another dream that I had. This is why I've had all these dreams. They finally want me to share them. I'm like, are these just for me? So this dream was a yellow brick road. People on the yellow brick road, they were all walking, biking, following the same crowds, and just doing as they're told, what they're told, trusting those in the lead. And they come to a wall, a dead end, and they stop, and they're stuck. They can't move forward, and their bikes combust and fall apart, and they can't continue to move forward. And in order for them to continue to survive or move forward, they have to get off the path, get off the yellow brick road, create their own path. That path is going to be hard because they have to, the training wheels are coming off, and they have to do it by them. Well, not by themselves. They have to do it with their own intuition and using their higher self, connecting to Christ and God and source and all of it. It's Mother Earth. They need all of it, bringing it in, that circle, that flowing of energy. They connect it to their center, their heart, bringing it in, trusting themselves, and they'll be able to continue to move forward, and they'll be continue to progress and move, and they won't get stuck. It's saying, don't trust. You have to learn how to connect to source, to trust source only, to know what that personal revelation is, and trust the voices that you're hearing, and know who to trust. Don't trust anyone else. They will try to deceive you. They will come in saying that they're here to help you. There's a movie that everyone should go watch called Third Wave, Third Wave, maybe. It's a representation of something similar to come.
Mm.
The third wave. What's the third wave? So showing me the plagues. Third wave is complete loss of your freedoms.
Yep, it's called The Third Wave. It's a documentary.
Okay, third wave.
That's it.
I think that's it. So watch that, and it will be, yes, very. And it's also representative of 3 years, 3 waves, 3 years and some change of going through. It's longer than that, but that's the 3 waves. Like, that's the most difficult part.
Oh, wait, there's other movies too that may not be exactly it. The Wave. There's one called Death Wave.
No.
The 5 Wave, the 5th Wave.
The 5th wave.
They all look very apocalyptic. So
that one could be it. There might be 5. Wait. So the 3 is representative of 3.5 years, but the 5 goes into the longer term, 7 years. There's other parts of it.
Does it feel like we're going to be going through this for the next 3 to 5 years?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years, tribulation, 7 years of plenty, representative of Joseph of Egypt.
Does it feel like that's already started, or have we gotten there yet?
It's the pre-labor to the labor, the contractions. it hasn't started until the labor. Revelations 12, with the woman in labor, the woman in travail. Revelations 12, we're in preterm labor. So these are just the contractions. We're coming out of the 7 years of plenty. So we started into it. I don't know how far in, because he's not talking to me in time.
Mm-hmm.
Scale. I'm looking at the scale again. So, oh no, we're in a sand glass. You know, the sand dripping down,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just a little left. There's just like a little left that's about to come out. When that little bit falls, the clock strikes 12. Cinderella, the shoe, something with that. Midnight. Yeah. That all these shows they tell us they show us are like to remind us they're triggers for our memory.
And isn't Taylor Swift's latest album called Midnights?
I did not know that.
She's something with the clock. She did something with the clock. I don't know why I'm connecting
When,
those two things together, but
yes, I'm getting a very big yes on that. That's part of it. When does that come out?
I think it's already out.
But is it what her new concert is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's big energy. It's about to strike midnight, and it's part of Taylor Swift.
So tell me a little bit more, because we were talking about that possibly one of her concerts or something about her concert may have something to do with kicking some of this off. How is that connected?
It's a bomb that they planted, like a time encapsulated bomb. It was planned long, long ago. And when it goes off, it's gonna have like a ripple effect of it's like some kind of time encapsulated bomb. It already what was her first concert date? March 16th. But they're telling me March 16th. 2 It opened up a portal, something. When was her? Hasn't she? She had her first concert, I think.
I'm looking.
Telling me March 16th.
I'm not sure.
Something happened on March 16th. There was a shift. Completion. Something to do with, each concert creates a shift and opens up a time and capsule. It's all part of it. So they started with the Turkey earthquake. Then it went to then it went to the Stan Smith. Then it went to the Grammys. So Taylor's like, she's just next in line, and each concert opens up another one and sets off like some kind of bomb thing. And the more people that go, something with the stands of the people like cheering and slamming their feet. They're like something is about to break. Like they're breaking through. It's like symbolic of like I'm seeing literally like them collapsing, the stands and stuff, but not literally, like it's not literally going to happen, but like stomping of feet and screaming and yelling, and there's something they're like breaking through with that many people gathering together. Because when you gather, we're supposed to see, it's the same. They're gathering to open up these portals, and they're doing it in all of the things that are that are opposite of what's good, in like loudness and idolizing and greed and those people who got the Taylor Swift concerts, there's like a pride that's going with it, like that we got some, and like it's like putting out an energy of some kind of pride and all of these things, and they're gathering their people. That's how they're gathering their people. Oh my gosh, it's like a giant portal in the arena. They're doing it on all these different. That's how they gathered him at the Super Bowl. That's how they gathered him at the Grammys. That's how. This is crazy. They literally have to gather the people. We don't have to do that. We can gather from across the world just by with a thought. We can create these cords of light. We don't actually. I mean, physically gathering us will be good too. We need to gather and unite in places of light because it'll create more light in those pockets. We will do that, but we're doing it right now through our heart energy, and they can't do that like we can do it. Oh my gosh, these people that are going, they don't even realize it. They're stealing their light energy. They're literally taking it from them and using it to create more darkness because they're so blind to it, and because they give it freely. They're not protecting themselves. They're giving it freely, and they're stealing it, they're manipulating it, and they're turning it into more dark energy. It's like, oh my gosh, I literally can see it. Like I physically can see it happening at these events, what they're doing to it. And it gives more power to Taylor. It gives more power to them, whoever's possessing her. Like, oh, so crazy. This is so gross. That's what they did at the Super Bowl. Makes me angry.
So, talk to me a little bit more about gathering because you've been having dreams about gathering. You keep hearing that it's time to gather. It's important to know about that.
It's actually so important because we have to do the opposite of what they're doing. We have to not get distracted by these things. Those light workers, those light warriors, those who are awake. It's like our number one, those we chose. This was part of our mission. We said we will be part of the gathering. We will help wake them up. We will bring them together. We will help unite them. And we're doing it through our gifts. You're doing it through yours. I'm doing it through mine, but I'm supposed to be doing it on a bigger scale. I just saw my higher self in her armor again.
What does she want you to know about doing that on a bigger scale?
She's pointing. How is she doing this? Apparently, I'm doing it right now. My higher self, I'm watching it happen, but it's confusing to me. It's like, okay, so I see her like kind of like in space, and she's has this kind of like, I don't know what to call it, like a wand or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she's literally like pointing it to certain sections of the world, and they're lighting up. She's just pointing and they're lighting up, and I see people just like arising, and they're like lighting up, and it's like little pockets around the world, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do that, but she's doing it.
Is this by you being in those places or connecting with people in those places?
Okay, when I get a prompting and I don't hesitate and I go towards that prompting, basically do as I'm told and go to those places, that one person or whoever that group is, we're working together. Me and my higher self are working together. I'm activating in some way. I have to do it here before she can do it in some bigger scale because I'm listening and I'm obeying in a way, but not obeying. Because it's like agency. So I'm listening and I'm responding.
She's given you direction and you're,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And I go and I do something that sparks a little light, and then she can take that light and make it bigger, utilizing more, not power, more, just more light energy through the other guides and other higher selves and other people working together from the other side. So we're doing it at a smaller scale here. Once we activate that in each other, now that activates all of those higher selves and all of those that can come together and do it at a bigger scale. So it's like, but it takes us to do the initial, they can't until we do that. It's like, because we're here in the physical form on this planet, and it's like gives them permission now in some way. It's like when you ask for help from the other side, if you don't ask for that help, they can't help you. If you just go along being like, poor me, pity me, and you don't go ask for that help, you have to ask for it. And then they're able to do it. It's works like that in some way. So I've seen her like light up the pockets of places I've been or people I've talked to where I've opened up my mouth, like we're working together and we're working with other people and their higher selves. It's like a big team that are creating pockets of light. But these pockets, we have to get them bigger. And that's also why something with my third eye being open more and activated more.
Let's ask about that, because you said your third eye is opening more lately and it's staying open longer. Why is that? What's happening?
So there's shifts happening on the planet, throughout the planet. So all these light warriors and workers who have awakened and are doing their missions, what they promised to do, they are increasing their light and putting out more light. And in return, it's activating more in all of us. It's like it has a ripple effect. It's like a global thing. So the more of us that continue to do this, we're actually helping each other. So it's interesting because what was brought to my mind was the session you just did with, what's her name?
Kim.
She actually activated more third eyes opening, more light coming, more gifts expanding by her doing that session with you. And you did the same. You both did. Like that had an effect on the light warriors. Like it affected me. It affected who knows who else from all over the world. So every time we do something like this, it actually creates, they want me to focus on the word power for some reason. We're supposed to figure out what they're trying to tell me about power.
What is it? What is it? Did they want you to know about power?
That Christ used his gift of powerlessness to expose the powerlessness in power. And in that, brought down power. Okay, does that make sense? Okay.
I think so.
So this, I'm just going to keep calling him Father Time for now. Oh, no, wait, Metatron.
Metatron. Either way.
Yes, I was about to call him Father Time, and then he's like, no, we got past that. Metatron, put the big word giant on the screen, power. So that is what is destroying our planet. So when Christ was here during his time, it was the Pharisees and the Sadducees with them thinking that they were these really good people. They were, they were the ones that um, kept the laws and the Sabbath day and all of these things. And they thought they were doing all of this good. And then Christ comes and he's like, no, this is your guys's, you got it wrong. And this is your ego. And this is, um, it's your power. It was all about power. So something that we have to do is somehow we have to use powerlessness. So we need to flip it and take out power and say powerlessness. So the gift of powerlessness is actually what's going to take down power. That's what Christ did. He used that gift of powerlessness to expose the powerlessness in power because there is no power in power. It's powerlessness.
Yeah.
And it's like big, like that's kind of like what we're supposed to do. And the powerlessness represents all the 9 Enneagrams because you take out the deadly sins and you have just these gifts of the 2 is the helper and the 9 is the peacemaker and the 8 is the leader and the 7 is the enthusiast and the 6 as the loyalist and the warm-hearted and the 5 is the observer, the thinker, the 4 that brings the creative, the artistic, the 3 that brings like the ability to achieve great things. You bring all that in, you take out the deadly sin, and you've taken out the power. And now it's the powerlessness, it's the humility, it's the love. That's the goal. That's where we're trying to get, is to take the powerlessness out of power and to show that power has no power. Ooh, I got the chills all over my body. He just gave me a lesson in power. He put it on the board. It's like, we're going to give you a lesson in power. I'm kind of liking this guy. I'm like hoping I can bring him in more outside of my window to teach me some things now that I kind of made those dots.
I think you can.
Them. And he just keeps clapping as like, well done. Okay, what's like the next lesson? I'm like ready.
What else does he want to share?
His heart is heavy. He wants us to know about the children, the suffering of the children going on behind the scenes. Great sadness, great work to be done. It's in connection with exposing the powerlessness and power because they're suffering and it's bigger than we can imagine. Showing me some scenes on the screen.
Describe those scenes as if you can.
It's really sad. I keep trying to push it off because 7s don't like to deal with pain. This is part of me being able to be a redeemable 7 is I have to like see the pain and I keep trying to block it out. So I'm going to try to ground myself really quick and try to open the scene up.
Take a nice deep breath. Just know that you're simply observing, bringing forward the information that's important to share at this time.
Okay, screaming. They're being taken. They're being used. They're being hidden and used for very disgusting agendas. They think that the children give them more power. It's dark power. Lots of screaming. I'm taking a break. I'm sitting in front of the screen in like a yoga pose, trying to like be zen. Just gonna take a little break.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Why these people are masked? They've got like a black cloth over their face. Don't know if that's symbolic or not.
Mm. Are these humans?
Yeah,
Or
they're
are they
human.
different types of beings? Combination,
It's a
humans and
combination.
beings.
It's a combination. Oh, okay. So as I'm watching them snag the children, they are covered in black, which is representative of their dark energy that has taken over their body. But then I'm watching the dark energy come out of them and like a smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like grabbing the children. So it's like I'm seeing both physical form and this dark energy grabbing them. They are taking them from families, from their parents. I keep hearing Arabian, something to do with the Arabians.
Mm-hmm.
And they, it's like headquarters, maybe. Um, Tunnels, dark tunnels in remote places that need rescuing. We need vigilantes,
Vigilantes.
vigilantes.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to activate my fingers and hands again. I don't know what I'm supposed to
Mm-hmm.
do with them. They want me to direct some energy, like,
Towards a specific place.
yeah, these places, these tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Do
see
they
that.
do they want to share with us where those are, or just the tunnels in general? Because I know they're all over this earth.
I'm zoning in on the Black Sea underneath of it, through it, under it, like going under through the Black Sea, and then like directing it through tunnels that go through the land to push out that light energy. They said this is an example of what we can do together as we gather. This will be part of our work, is rescuing the children. And this is a small scale what I'm doing right now. It's just like a starting point. We'll be able to do massive rescue missions, but we have to start somewhere. So this is like activating the power through our hands, the light energy, directing it towards a dark place and trying to bring light to that place through our thought energy, through our fingertips when they tingle, to use that. It's like activating something, like that light. And it's like a cue when they start doing that to activate them, to direct that light energy. And it's through the heart center source, bringing it in a alignment, and then Christ. It's all those things I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then using that. So it's not just us, we're bringing it all in. And we'll be able to do this at a more, uh, now I hate using the word power,
Mm-hmm.
powerful way of the light.
Yes.
There's, you can use power in the light. We're using it in the
Mm-hmm.
light to direct that energy, connecting through source and utilizing the atonement to do that, to bring some healing so that we can go in and do some rescue missions. Oh, and I literally see people sitting in Indian style around a fire doing this in unification together. They're in like a meditated state and they're focusing on parts of the land. And we have our fellow Indian friends teaching us how to do this. They like they are going to teach us how to do it um, in a new way or a better way, or teaching us just how to do it. They're with us. Some of their rituals that they used to do are those light rituals that we've like lost, that are symbolic in utilizing our gifts. I see the rain dance as being significant in ways that to bring cleansing, to bring healing, and that like living water shower and cleansing the earth. We'll be doing some of that. And pure rain, because because of the toxins and everything, the rain isn't pure either, because it rains on us with toxins and all kinds of stuff. We need the pure energy to heal the soil and the land so that it heals our food and heals land and places of that have gone so dark. This is part of it.
Well, let's talk about, you wanted to learn more about Wi-Fi. You were shown the ripple lines and how it pertains to dark energy rippling out into the universe. Why were you shown that Wi-Fi energy? What's important to know about that today?
It's connecting that Wi-Fi, the ripple. It's connecting the lower dimension places. It's having to do with also them bringing in 5G. It's helping them to try to connect their lower dimensions and frequencies and putting them out into our planet. They've been doing it, but they keep, oh, the 5G was part of bringing it more intensely, like it's like more intensified because of it and causing sickness and confusion. It's to scatter our brains waves, scatter our brain waves to, oh, now it's connecting. It's connecting to whatever they put in the vaccination. It's like all connected.
Tell me more about that. How is that connected?
I see this like so I'm watching the ripple effects go out and it's creating a beam of something. And the beam is now like going out to different connections of like lower dimensions, but then I saw it curve into some kind of little something square like chip like. And then I was told vaccination. So it's like something that they are activating within that's been put inside people.
Mm-hmm.
They can through
Like
5G.
nanotechnology or
Yes, but it's like they can activate it through as this connection. So it's like connected to these lower dimensions and it's like all connected. as we have, oh my goodness, okay. As we have the points of connection with the circle to Christ, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And it's open energy. I see Satan like this with his legs folded, and he's in a triangle. He's literally in a triangle sitting there with his energy closed, and he has his points, point, triangle, the Illuminati, the pyramids. But the pyramids came from the light. They absconded that. There's something there. Let's go back. I'm losing focus. Okay, he's folded, his energy is closed, and it's a triangle. And it's the triangle of the Wi-Fi connected to him, connected to this chip in some way. It's their points that they're trying to connect. It's it's just big. It's big, and I don't know how to understand it all. They're just showing me visuals, but all I see is this like genie in a bottle. The magician, the genie. I will grant you your wishes. You just sell your soul to me. I will grant you whatever you want. You can have everything in this life. It's the things he promises all these people in Hollywood and everything. But his energy isn't open. He's not like, he's not bringing in the love and everything. He's bringing in the pride and it all goes to the top of the genie in the bottle. It goes up, and gold and riches and wealth. He is representative of the genie in the bottle, and he's captured. He can't get out. He can't get out because the only way he can get out is if he steals light energy from other people or possesses them, because he grants them the wishes. And what do they have to give in return? Their soul, energy. Their energy. And then it just traps them. And it's the triangle. This is like mind blowing to me. It's opposite. It's opposite of light. It's opposite of God. I mean, when you close yourself off, you shut down. What happens when you close yourself off from the world? You got to be open, like a starfish. That seemed really big. I know there's more there. I need to go back. I need to focus again. Where were we?
So the question I had asked was about how is the 5G connected to the technology in the vaccines?
Oh yeah, there's more there.
How is it activating? How are people being affected by the 5G if they have that technology in them?
So what I'm seeing is that this cord that is created from the Wi-Fi that's now connected to their solar plexus, their solar system inside of them, they've lost control of controlling their solar plexus now. Now they have this ripple going in, this pulsing, this that is like their new heartbeat. It's like they can't hear their heart anymore because it's louder, it's more intense. It's like it's literally feeding into like a ripple effect into this connection that's going back and forth, that's connected to this triangle. And they have to cut the cord. They have to cut it if they've had the vaccination. In order to cut the cord, they have to it's going to take like a lot of work. It's going to take like pushing out that signal and listening to this again rather than the loud noises coming in. It's like, oh, it's like when there's like a radio signal, or there's something that goes out, but then they go and they put something else there to muffle this, not muffle the sound. I can see it, but I can't put it into words. There's like another signal that comes in so that they can't hear the other signal. They do that to like to deter people, or like scramble,
Mm-hmm.
like jets scrambling or boats scrambling, to their enemy or whatever, so that they can't
Yeah.
know that they're coming. They're scrambling the signal or something so that they can't hear the heart, the pure light Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that with something with the vaccine, and it's going to be part of the other plagues that's coming, activating. It's going to be like more and more, and they're going to take like plague be gone and all this stuff to try to, but they're not listening to the right channel. They've got to turn it to the right channel. It's scrambled. And in order for them to turn it to the right channel, it's going to take a lot of work because they have to push out all the noise and the distractions and everything trying to scramble it, because it's even more intense now. It was already intense before, but because they got the vaccine, it's even more intense. It's like they can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be louder. Those who didn't get it, those who aren't scrambled and stuff, our voice has to be louder, or our ripple, our light, our heart energy has to be louder than theirs. But it can happen with just turning on that one light switch. One light switch can just bring light to an entire room. So it's going to be part of our jobs and our roles to help those who have become desensitized and become, they're on the wrong channel. Yeah. They want me to see the team of people. Okay, so we have my higher self here. We have Megatron here. So if I can recognize who's here, we can bring in more.
Mm-hmm. Who else do you see?
Your higher self is here. It's actually like a whole bunch of people, but I'm trying to go through this circle of people and see
Mm-hmm.
if I can recognize anyone or know. Adam the Archangel is here. Tiamat is here.
Mm-hmm.
Tiamat, they put to sleep in the movie The Eternals. Something about waking up. He's part of the waking up. Tiamat, I don't know. That's the first time I have
How is he part of the waking up?
felt that energy. We have to help Tiamat wake up too, with by us, more people waking up, he wakes up more. Celestial being, Tiamat is a celestial being that is part of the winding up scenes, part of the big battle. So I'm seeing Tiamat now as like a dragon, but not a bad dragon,
Mm-hmm.
a purple dragon, royalty, some way, celestial.
So what is his role in this awakening?
To help heal the land, to transform it to its back to its celestial glory, where it began and started. Part of the battle. So Tiamat was asleep because we put him to sleep because we weren't ready. So more and more people waking up helps awaken this celestial dragon, mighty dragon, having to do with the orange flame. connecting all those things that I said earlier. The planet has to be rebirthed,
Mm-hmm.
and the flame is part of it. Maybe Tiamat, are you part of like, the planet needs to like, because it was, baptized water. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so water, your birth through water, it's like your first birth. And Noah's flood with the water cleansing the earth was the first. But you have to have a rebirth inside of you after you're already born through water. And that is like your rededication to God and Source and Christ. And that rebirth is fire. And Tiamat is part of that fire that has to happen. That doesn't just happen to us, it has to happen to planet Earth. It has to be rebirthed through fire. And he's part of it as the purple dragon with the flame, having to do with also that third eye that I keep seeing with the flame around the eye.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of Source. And I feel like it's because it's that portal to Source. It opens you up to that connection, that line toward to Source. And the fire is somehow that protection, part of the rebirth, part of the cleansing. And Tiamat is part of that. And we need to awaken. I'm being told that the reason I'm saying this stuff is because these are, and I was actually told this before the session. I remember now, but I didn't know what it meant, that I was supposed to use trigger words to help waken people up.
Mm-hmm.
And things that I'm saying or bringing out are like trigger words or
Like
trigger
activations.
activations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's part of the purpose of this session, is to activate light workers and light warriors.
Wonderful.
And even for ourselves, me and you, it's activating. So this whole time I've been connected with my higher self, and we've separated a couple times, but I brought her with me into the garden and we've been doing this together. And it's actually supposed to be, we're connecting timelines, that poem. Okay, we're supposed to read the poem or the thing at the bottom that I gave you.
Okay. All right. So this was something you wanted to know more about. You were was downloaded these beautiful words one day when your third eye was open. And I'm just going to read what came through. Beacon.
Wait, before you say it, we're supposed to say,
okay.
We're supposed to say, activate the third eye in those love, three strand and higher beings that are ready to awaken to their mission, to the role that they play, transform, transmute those three strand DNAs that are, okay, so I see the three strand DNAs. We need to, how do I do this?
Like activate the dormant strands.
Yes, activate the dormant strands. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And visualize them growing into more strands. This that she's reading is going to help to transform some of that light energy into more light energy, which will actually, it's going to help those strand DNAs go more from a 3-strand to wherever you're at, if you're a 4 or 5. But yeah, I was just supposed to say that before you read it.
So I'll just ask anybody that's listening to this session just to focus on their DNA. You could just see those strands and see the strands beginning to light up and activate, more of them coming online.
It's connected to your retinas in your eye. That's cool. Okay, you know the little things in your eye, the little strands that go out, that's part of your strands in your DNA, because you're opening up your eyes to see. So we're activating it literally. And I'm being told, don't wear the sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that before.
Yes, because it's dimming it. You want to activate them by
Activate the
opening up
light.
your eyes, and those are part of the strands in your DNA. I'm seeing them in the eye, which is part of the fire and the flame that's surrounding the third eye. It's your DNA strand. It's That's also connecting your strands to, oh my gosh, my whole body's tingling. This is like you're like connecting your strands or the eye, the flames to source, to other things that are going out. And it's like the flames, it's the light, it's your protection. I don't know. It's more, it's just what I'm getting. Okay.
It's
I think we can
amazing.
read. I think we can read.
Okay. All right. So beacon, become, transform. It's time. Begin connecting timelines, connect the chords, bring into existence the peace that brings ascension to existence, and into play for the light will win and conquer and kick ass, and creation will continue, and they will no longer be able to thwart growth and will lose this battle, and we will refuse darkness and remove it from this planet and universe, and we will not be stopped, nor will we retreat, but we will move forward with love and acceptance and gratitude and light, for we are the warriors of this time, and we will fight for humankind and all mankind, for all of creation that breathes life and lives light and exists to bring love and healing to this planet and recognizes source and all that is and all that it represents and all that is good and freedom and choice and the ability to create more light will continue and never be stopped. For we are here to bring forth the truest form and purest form of light energy that will heal and cleanse and transform this planet and those on it. Amen. So tell me what's important for us to know about those beautiful and powerful words.
Something that really, really big came in while you were saying it is the word peace came out very big. And I saw the symbol again with Christ on the cross and how he makes a peace sign. Christ is peace. And then when you were reading it, he came into the session and he came in with all of his opening arms and his light. It was white surrounding him, which meant that he had source with him, the power of source. And he was walking forward and he was bringing everything in with him. And I was told that this was his sermon and it's not mine. And they were not my words. This was his sermon that he was giving me to give to you all. And it was really beautiful. And he's just like exuding all of this. And he's just like walking forward in this light, this beautiful white light, with his arms just wide open, just like to bring it all in. Oh, and it's like, whoa, I see it now. My hands are lighting up and it's like a lines coming through of like, I feel it, I see it. I don't know what that means if I'm like feeling it from him, connecting with him, but it's like my hands are outlined again. There's so much power and light in that, like connecting our to other people in our hands and reaching out to like bring it all in and love and unity. And that's what he's doing right now. And he's bringing you all in. And he wants you to know that he is peace. And this is where you find peace. And we, through him and through his great sacrifice on the cross of the atonement, can utilize that power through him, through source, that he is like radiating from source. We connect it all. It's all connected with the third eye and bringing that in. Like, I don't know how to explain it more. It's just so loving, so light and beautiful. And he's just like radiating and glowing. And I think I learned something big today about source and him and their connection and how he is part of all of that. They're like intertwined. They're one because it's all this circle. Like they're one. We're supposed to become at one with the Savior. We're all supposed to meet in the center with all of that. it's just really beautiful.
Does he have any messages that he would like to bring through for us today?
He's concerned about the children. They're gathering, the children are gathering around him. He's bringing them in. They're like surrounding him, sitting by him, and he's bringing them comfort. The innocent children, he's weeping with them as they're weeping in pain. He just loves them so much. He's so concerned for the children. They're suffering. It's hard. He's just taking a moment with them. Now, there's more gathering going on around the children and him. So we're creating a circle. People are coming in. Heather, you're there. You have your hand over your heart and you're weeping too. You go her whole, you grab my hand. We're like grabbing each other's hands. And we're creating this like circle barrier around the children. And he's comforting them. And we're now like swaying together in unison. We're saying peace, peace, we want peace. There's now angelic beings gathering above us. The flowers are coming in, the trees, the birds, the fowls, the animals, the lions. There's bears there. We're all gathering together as he's just comforting the children. We are creating some kind of like protection barrier over them, like a dome. And we're singing the song, Be Still My Soul. What are the words? On earth will rain, on earth will rain. Be still my soul. Can you look up the words?
Mm-hmm. Tell me the name of the song again.
Be still my soul. They're just still gathering, so it's fine. Everyone's just gathering, coming from afar.
Okay, it says, Be still, my soul. The Lord is on thy side. With patience bear thy cross of grief and pain, grief or pain. Leave to thy God to order and provide. In every change, he faithful will remain. Be still, my soul. Thy best, thy heavenly friend, through thorny ways leads to a joyful end.
Yeah, that's what we're singing. That's beautiful. He's now looking out amongst the crowd with his arms open. We are kneeling down in front of him, and he is kneeling to us in gratitude for our strength and our work and our commitment and our missions. He says, I couldn't do it without you. I need you, all of you. You are my chosen. Chosen doesn't mean better than. It means that you volunteered. The road ahead will not be easy. There will be suffering and pain, as I have suffered. I have overcome, as will you. your pain, your suffering will create a light, a barrier, a protection for the children through your pain and suffering. He's called me out and he's embracing me because he knows that I feel unworthy.
What does he want you to know about that?
Don't be afraid. Don't forget who you are. Don't. It's okay to doubt yourself. It's part of human nature. But don't doubt me. Don't doubt the light that's inside of you. That is me. Don't run away. There was a dream he's reminded me of where he told me, you opened your mouth, you have to stay here and not get distracted. He's telling me that I beat myself up. I'm hard on myself. But that I am doing his work and I'm doing good and he's proud of me. And that I focus on that part of the dream about the distractions and I beat myself up with them when I have them. But he says not to focus on that. It's to focus on the light in it, the light message of opening my mouth. And every time I open my mouth, he's proud of me. And when I don't open my mouth, he's proud of me because he knows how hard it is. He knows how difficult this journey is. He's been on it. The pathway to godhood is not an easy one. There's lots of pain and suffering and beating yourself up, thinking that you're failing, but you're not failing. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the journey. And to just embrace the journey, find joy in the journey. He is always proud of us. He is grateful for our work and our dedication and our perseverance and our loyalty. And he wants this message to go to everybody, not just me. He's now addressing the whole crowd. He said it again. You have been chosen. It's time to arise. Bring the peace in. I am the peace. I am the light. I am the way. I am in you, all of you. I am with you. You are not alone. This is the day. This is the time. This is the moment. It is here. It is now. You are capable. You have the tools. You are my children. You are all my children. It is time to end suffering through your love, through your voices, through your humility. You will change this planet. The children will be saved. You will find peace. There will be peace. Looking out amongst all the people that have gathered, there's millions. There's, I don't know, it's covering a land. And this land is sacred. This land is Adama Diamond, where Eve and Adam started it all. Sacred land. There's councils that meet there often. It's there's a portal there, a light portal that will start. It will be a gathering place, and it will bring in crowds like this, millions of people. This is a foreshadow to what is to come on this land, where we will create so much light that it will engulf this planet, but we'll start here. We're meeting here today as a starting point, a shift, planting a seed. He's planting a seed. He's actually planting a seed. It's a flower. It's in the center point of the planet. And he's planting a seed. We've opened a portal today. We've gathered. It will get bigger as people listen to this session and let it resonate with them and puncture their heart. It will grow, the seed will grow, this flower will bloom and create. We've got the sowers, and this is a parable he taught with the tree, the fig tree, plucking off of the bad so that the new can grow. Now we're all planting seeds. He started the first one, and now we're all planting. We're planting a seed. There's something above the crown chakra of my head. It's an energy.
What is that there?
It's a hand. Something is laying he's laying his hands on my head, my crown chakra. I can feel the energy, the light energy. It's weird. It's like I'm not here, but I'm here. I'm not here, but I feel like my arms are open, and I'm embracing, I'm bringing it all in, but I'm there, but I'm also planting a seed. So it's like all parts of me. I've got my higher self. Oh my gosh. Oh, something was touching me. Okay, sorry. It's just like, what is happening?
What is the purpose of placing his hands on your head? What is he doing there?
Blessing me. He's blessing me with some protection and helping to bring in some light energy. I feel very grounded right now. I feel like so much peace and love and stability, and I think he just wants me to know that he's like really here. Like it's so I could feel it tangibly, not just in my mind's eye. And then now he's embracing me. So before he was doing it in my visions, in my mind's eye, wherever we are, but I'm feeling it physically now in this dimension. But it's like we're very old friends, like comforting in a reuniting way of not of me seeing him as this being that's so above me and beyond me and anything that I could ever be, but as like my friend who I've known for so long, who's just here to be with me in a comforting way of like, we know each other and this is so familiar, and I'm not better than you and I'm not greater than you, even though that seems to go against everything that I feel and believe. But he's making me feel that way. He's he's making the whole crowd feel that way. That I'm just one of you. I'm just one of you. These seeds, these flowers are growing, and they're spreading. They're spreading out, and he's now just visiting with everyone.
What about your friend says, what is the strong connection that the two of you have?
Just heard soul sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, actual sisters. We've actually been sisters in not on this planet. Um, we were really close on Mars.
On Mars.
On Mars.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What were you on Mars? What were you doing there?
Mars was a light planet that turned dark. We were happy there, very light, very gleeful and joyful, but we both went through that transition when Mars was taken over. So we've had a lot of experience with this, and we know what they're trying to do. And this experience is giving us the knowledge that we need for this planet, for what they're trying to do, the same thing, but at a bigger scale. And she and I created a plan together. So I'm being told that sevens, she's a seven, usually become sevens because of traumatic experiences that they've had and a ton of pain that they've dealt with, because they know the secret to joy and happiness. And we've both experienced a lot of traumatic pain, a lot of traumatic experiences together. And we made a plan to connect to connect both sides of the planet, because we live on opposite ends, and it's creating a cord from one end to the other end of light and love that's going to be spread out. And the outfits we wore on Mars were a little strange, because I'm seeing some weird stuff on our heads. Like, we wear these like headpieces, and kind of like it's like a dress that's like not a, it's like it has piping around it, but then it's I know this is so weird that I'm seeing this, but hey, why not, right? Um, it's like a sheet, but it's not a sheet. It's a little more structured, and it has piping around all of it. And then we have these like headpieces on that aren't they're like made out of like the materials or the stuff from the planet, like
Mm-hmm.
materials from the planet, like I don't want to say twigs, but stuff from Mars.
Stuff from Mars.
I don't know what to call it because I don't know. I just see a visual.
Yeah.
But we're kind of like holding hands and just kind of very gleeful and joyful. Like it was a very like happy time, very cool experience for us. But then I see the planet like being engulfed in darkness and being and like it dies. It like dies.
Interesting.
She also looks different than she does now,
Mm.
obviously. More of like a creature, but a human with like this weird shaped nose. But I know it's
Humanoid.
but I yeah, but I know it's her. It's like that says that's my friend. And we are I've never connected to anybody so quickly on this planet in my life. And I don't know any other sevens in my life either, which is interesting because it says that seven is only 9% of the population. And um, we met across the world. It's just, I find it so non coincidental. And the fact that she was the one holding my hand, helping me snorkel and teach me and brought me that peace. It wasn't my husband, it was her. She's the one
Mm.
who brought me that like healing and peace to and gave me the courage to jump in the middle of the Indian Ocean, in the middle of the abyss of nowhere, to be eaten by sharks and snorkel in the in water. I was terrified.
Amazing.
But I conquered it through her help. A stranger that I met just recently. It's kind of
Mm.
cool.
Beautiful. Well, are there any final messages today? Anything else that any of these beautiful guides would like to bring through?
Your guide is coming in, wants to remind you and me to talk about how to open up your third eye.
Wonderful. Can we do that today, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me kind of bring that in more. Let me just focus for a second.
Okay.
I'm getting some mixed messages, so I'm just trying to clear my space.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting some visuals of you when you're trying to open up your third eye. Are you doing it with your eyes closed?
Mm-hmm.
She wants you to do it with your eyes open.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. It's easier to focus when your eyes are open on a focal point. Because when your eyes are closed, you see darkness. But when your eyes are open, you see light.
Yes.
So to find a focal point, then to focus on that point and to remove all thoughts, remove all doubts, remove all pressure on yourself, and to go into a relaxation zone of pure focus on that focal point. To start there, to try to see energy moving when your eyes are open as a fuzzy television screen. Once you start seeing the fuzziness and the energy and matter moving, start asking questions and see what comes to you. The more you listen to what's coming to you and believe it, your third eye will open even more. Then practice closing your eyes, but opening them at the same time. So your eyes are closed, but they're open. Does that make sense?
I think so.
So you can practice doing it by closing your eyes. Now open them, but you're still closed. That's when you will see more visions. You never want to be fully closed. Your eyes are the window to everything. And practice meditation in a new way in the middle of chaos. So learning and practicing meditation with distractions, loud noises, interferences
Mm-hmm.
will help to activate it even more and in a way that it can just happen anywhere.
Okay.
In conversations of maybe an example would be someone's not happy with you, as in maybe one of your children, and you go into a meditative state with your eyes open and focus on light rather than the negative coming at you. That will also help.
Okay.
You have a gift to see inside someone's soul, to see them in purity without their flaws. Naturally, you're able to do this without opening your third eye. It's one of your gifts to just see inside someone's soul and know there is good there and see the light. So, taking that and focusing it to the third eye, the middle. So, when you're doing your opening your eyes and focusing on a focal point, connecting all the dots, taking it from your eyes to the center and bringing the energy in, bringing all of that light and love in, and connecting that to source. So I'm hearing that it's because it's already a natural ability of yours to do so, you haven't had to put in as much work
Mm-hmm.
to see, to connect, to you have a natural ability to bring source in when others have to work a little bit harder to do so. So it's it's already been a little bit easier for you naturally. So it's almost like you don't even have to open your third eye as much. You're already doing it, if that makes sense. But by opening up your third eye even more, as in focusing that all that energy and bringing it all into that third eye and opening it, then I see a flood of wisdom and knowledge coming in. So I'm trying to understand what I'm being told here. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of confusing.
No, you're doing great.
So for an example, this helps me. So for an example, are you the type of person, because I don't know you fully,
Mm-hmm.
when you are in distress or when you're in a conflict situation or when you are being attacked or anything like that, do you get triggered easily or do you stay grounded and do you still see good in that person or do your thoughts go really negative?
I think it depends. I would say most of the time I can stay fairly grounded and see good within the person. But if
Yes.
you trigger me too badly, I can definitely.
We all have our breaking point, right?
Yep, yep.
So what I'm feeling and sensing and getting through the thought energy, because sometimes it's really hard for me to put into words,
Mm-hmm.
is that, and this is my visuals that I'm getting,
Okay.
is most people when they're in a situation of triggering or being attacked or this or that, they easily go to the trigger. And in order for them to stay centered and grounded, they have to focus, really focus on, no, this isn't true. And almost have to go to like another place in a way and go into the zone, right? And so for some people, they have learned to open up their third eye as they've had to do more work. And so what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and what they're trying to tell me is that you haven't had to do as much work to get to a place of grounding and all that. It's easier for you. So that means in order for you to learn how to open up your third eye more, you have to do work outside of being triggered, because that's where most people learn to do that.
Okay.
So for you, it is being in those situations like I talked about, and then you focusing on opening up your third eye and you're already there, you're already grounded. Now you just have to go into like a meditative state and do that focal point and focus on something, whether it's like the person who's talking to you, focus on their nose, focus on the wall behind them, but do a complete, utter focus and bring all of that love energy that you have and all of that like light energy that you bring, the staying grounded, and focus it all in to open it up, and then start asking questions to receive the information in the situation, and doing it while you're awake and not asleep, if that makes sense. Because I feel like, I don't know if it makes sense.
I think it does.
So I hope that you do.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So will that because one of the things that I would love to be able to see is I'd like to be able to see when I'm working with clients into their light body to see where the blockages are. And I'd also like to be able to see, as I do this galactic training, I'd like to be able to see the light bodies going up to the ships and be able to see the beings in the room and have more of a vision.
I'm hearing laser focus.
Laser focus.
Yes. And I hate to say this, but it's what I heard, is that sometimes, and I don't know this about you, so I'm just saying
That's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Okay. That sometimes the aloofness can distract from the laser focusedness.
Okay. Explain that a little bit more, if you can.
Okay, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this means right now. So in your sessions, you tend to become very excited. Very
that sounds like me.
You're getting the information, and your focus is on the excitement of the session rather than letting go and going into the session with the person in a way that is laser focused.
Okay.
So like even the like I'm being shown you in a session in polar opposite ways. So I'm being shown how you can be and how you could be.
Okay.
Or how you are and how you will become. So right now, and you're growing, and this is all good. So right now it's your love for that other person and them getting the information out. You're so focused on doing your job in the way that like brings out what needs to be brought out, and the information, and taking notes and all of that, that if you would let go and become almost like you're in the dimension with that person, and let go of like even so you did it earlier with me when we went into the bubble. You were there with me, but only for like, I only saw you there for like a second. You've done it before in other sessions too, where I felt this connection in our hands and the work that we're doing. So you've been doing it. But it's almost, I just keep hearing laser focus, laser focus. It's almost like, is there like a laser beam that's related to this? I'm like,
so am I too focused is what they're saying, or I need to be more focused? I'm
too focused on performing well, doing your job.
That sounds about right.
So it's almost like let go and let be and let is and let let what can actually happen
Okay.
to like the next level. Like your thoughts, instead of thinking of the next question or where you're going to take it, let the energy move and flow to a way where you both can take yourselves up to the mothership together.
Oh, wow. That sounds more complicated than they're
I know.
making it.
I know.
No, it's perfect though. But how do how do you stay focused on, all the questions that the client has? But then, because yeah, I can see that I'm focused on what's the next question that comes after. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that in your newbie sessions, in your first timers, this is great. This is good. They want you to start doing this with your long time people. So to shift to like the next level, like this has been great. This has been good. This is awesome.
Mhm.
But now let's take it to the next level and let's do it with the people that you trust, the people that you feel safe with, the people that you can experiment with. And I'm getting Kim, by the way,
Mhm.
because that's the first one that comes to mind because she is open to letting you let go and go into
She
a
is.
session. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go into a session where there's no expectations. That's where I just heard it. No expectations.
So
Let the energy
no
go where,
questions, no anything,
no
right?
anything. Let it go where it goes. And almost you have to, oh, so the laser focus is you opening up your third eye in the session. That's so you finding a focal point with your eyes open in the session where she's in her thing and you're in yours and you are laser focused, like you are focused. So I want me to open my eyes and try doing this with my eyes open.
Okay.
So we're both going to go laser focused.
Okay.
So find a focal point, almost cross-eyed. Think of going cross-eyed.
Mhm.
Hold on, we just have to let it open. Okay, now see if you can see matter moving. Like really focus. Can you see any wave, like any little dotty things, any like wavy things or
Well, I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at your room,
oh,
and as I let my eyes relax, everything does get like a dot like pattern.
yes, that's what it is. Letting your eyes kind of relax. Okay, so now we're in the zone. Now let's see if we can connect to, let's see if we can go to like a similar portal or something. I'm going to go somewhere and I want to see, and you go with me. Okay, I'm there. Where are you? Should we say it together?
I don't
I
know
don't
that
know.
I'm anywhere.
Oh, okay. Let
So
me see.
are you seeing something?
I don't see you there, but I'm there. Okay. Let me see if I can bring you in.
Are you on a planet?
No, well, I could be. I'm at the ocean.
Oh, well, I was seeing a planet.
Okay. Well, I didn't see you there yet. So, okay. Let's try something else. I'm going to ask them instead of, I'm going to try to, I want to be completely in the zone with my eyes open. They want us to go home together. Where is home? Connect our hearts space. Okay, I see us traveling together now. Okay, we've landed and we're getting a welcoming. See if you can feel that energy. Okay, let's try something. Hand over heart. So they're taking us up to a mothership now. Do you feel any of that? Okay,
No.
they're going to put me down on a
Mhm.
bed and you're going to scan my body.
Okay. So I'm just imagining in my mind, like placing my hands over your body.
That's what I see. see you going like with your hands, you're kind of doing like a scanning.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that's weird. That's so crazy. It's like, I'm not here. This hand is, ooh, I'm in the mothership.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Focus on my heart and see why I'm having palpitations, maybe.
I'm getting a sense that I need to pull energy out.
Okay. I'm feeling something.
Almost like strings of energy.
Yeah. Like wrapped around my heart, trying to squeeze it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like untangling it.
I feel like I've gotten it out. It's like a ball of energy.
Yeah. And now you're holding it and you're turning it into light energy. You're like transforming it.
Now I feel like I want to put light back into the heart.
Yeah. Fill the space back up.
And just wrap it and get in a bubble of light.
That feels better.
Well, let's scan the body and see if there's anything else that we need to work on. I'm going to ask the guides to assist, the Pleiadian guides that are on the ship. They could do a scan of your body and let me know if there's anywhere else that we need to address today. Just feeling my hands are tingling.
That's cool. You're using your,
Mm-hmm.
you just got a lineup behind me of people that are ready to, they're like lined up.
Like to get onto the table.
Uh-huh.
That's
Funny.
so interesting.
Like, okay, Heather,
They're
our
they're gonna have
turn.
to wait because I don't know what I'm doing quite yet.
Oh, you're just practicing. It's just they want you to practice. I think you need to start practicing on people that in your sessions that you trust and that you know
Yeah.
won't, if you get, you know what I mean, that you won't feel like
Yeah.
I'm getting it wrong or weird or anything. Like Kim, you just got to dive in. You just got to start. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because like I am not, my eyes are not closed, but I am not here. Like, so I don't know what that means if like sessions.
Your light body is on the ship right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally when I go like this with my hands, I'm like, whoa. But it's kind of cool to do it with my eyes open because there's a whole nother sense of like awareness slash I'm not here slash. So I feel like it teaches you how to do it in awake form, you know? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm just so laser focused. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
that's maybe they wanted me to do that to show you what this laser focus means.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I went from one point to another though. So you can change points. I don't know.
Hmm. So I'll ask the guides, is there anything else that they want to show me while we're here? Or
Well, they're showing you how to drive the ship. So,
right.
yeah.
I'm driving the ship.
No, they're showing you how they're teaching you how to drive the
Oh,
ship. You're
nice.
not driving it. They're showing you right
Oh, good.
now.
That's a good thing.
I don't know why or what that means, but
Okay.
you're like, apparently you want like to learn all you can on the ship right now.
I do. I'm all about the starships.
How to drive it, how to drive your own mothership. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's your higher self. Your higher self already knows how to drive the ship.
My higher
So
self is on that ship, isn't she?
yeah, yep, she is. And
So I always say it as another aspect of my soul, but I've been wondering lately if that is my higher self that is on
well, that's what I feel like I'm getting is that it's
ship.
your higher self
Yeah.
and basically connecting. Okay, so this is why I keep hearing connecting timelines, connecting timelines. Maybe that's what I'm doing right now is trying to connect you both to that. Your higher self knows it. You have to believe it. You have to connect that. And then you can work together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the meridian of time that I've talked about this whole time that we're over with the X and everything is that that's happening. And I'm supposed to be connecting timelines. Like for some reason, I'm supposed to be connecting higher selves to people so they can connect the timelines so that they can work together.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just watching you guys.
Anything that my higher self wants me to know before we go?
Well, there's some serious light expanding right now. I don't know why. So we've opened that portal, right? And it's expanding. I'm watching it expand. So you just flew over somewhere and it's expanding the portal. We're doing some great work here today, I feel like.
I love it.
Um, you wanted to fly to a specific location.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this? Oh, you just flew over the part we were talking about with the children, the sand and the desert. You're trying to bring light there to those tunnels and stuff. Oh, snap. There's a lot of people there. There's other ships too.
Mm.
Are we going into battle? What's happening?
Right now?
I don't know if we could. There's a lot of like spaceships there right now.
Wow.
So we're trying to so you brought in the mothership to bring in some light there. You wanted to drive it there. You're like, show me how to drive this thing. I know where I'm going.
I'm taking the ship and I'm going to do it.
I'm taking over.
I'm getting these kids.
Oh, you're sending a light beam down into the ground. There's like this light beam. Now we're going in. We're going in.
What?
We're like, beam me down, Scotty. Me and you
Okay,
and
all
our
right.
higher selves. We're going in.
Let's do it.
Are we ready for this?
Yep.
Okay, we got this. We're going in.
Yep.
They're beaming us down like it's a portal going through the tunnels. And we have our armor on.
Yep.
And we've got like our
that.
yeah, and we've got like these weapons, but they're like, I don't know what kind of weapons they are, maybe like lifesavers or something. And we're like going through the tunnels trying to find the children. There's a lot of pew 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 going on. Oh my gosh, they were just about to do something with a child, sacrifice a child. There's more teams coming in. We're bringing in more, something on the radio. We're talking to others. We're bringing more in. I think Kim's there. I don't even know who Kim is, but she's there. I feel her energy. Oh yeah, she's there. Oh, she's pissed. Okay, we've got this child. We've got this child. We're letting off some kind of what are those? They're not grenades, but distractions, some kind of distractions so that we can get the child out. Now we're running. Where's the other children? Where's the other children? They took them, they're hiding them. We're gonna go up, we're gonna go up with this child. They moved them, they moved the other children somewhere. Bring it back to the ship. You're scanning the child. Christ has come in and he's laying his hands on his heart and head. This boy, blonde hair. There's just some healing going on. It's actually, someone's put, I don't know who, the boy's like in like a kind of coma state for his protection.
Mm-hmm.
So that he can like, it's too much, the trauma. So we're working on him. There's all these hands working on him and we're part of it, or we're all doing it together. It's like we're just trying, like, heart, mind. There's just a lot of like hands on.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing some light healing. Kim is now navigating the ship. She's getting us out of there while you help work on the boy. And I don't know where we're going, but it's like we have to like go somewhere else to protect this boy. She has some kind of patch or symbol on her uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's let me zoom in on it. It's like a symbol of her people she's a commander of. It's not we're from different tribes or something.
Mm-hmm.
She is a high level being, ranking commander in amongst her people, but we're bringing them all in together, like to do these rescue missions from all over the universe. I don't know what the
Wow.
symbol is. It has to do with the hand, but also with something with like symbols.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it before. I can maybe draw it and send it to you. It's not a star, but it's not a lightning bolt, but it's like a mix of the two
Mm-hmm.
in between, like the hand, like now the symbol's changing a little bit because I didn't see it completely clear. It seems like it's actually now going through the hand, like it's holding it, but it's like a light force thing. Symbol of like a lightning bolt mixed with the star sharpness,
Mm-hmm.
with a lightning bolt kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like holding it, but it's represents lightning and the thunder. Lightning and the thunder, bringing them together somehow with the force of the light through the hand,
Yeah.
something like that.
Are there any final messages that the
You have
guides
to
would
bring me
like
back
to?
because this spaceship is getting far, far away. I'm feeling like this, like we're going, I don't know where we're going.
Am I? I'm bringing you back home, I hope.
Yeah, well, no, part of me is going that way.
Oh, we gotta bring you back this way.
Okay, bring me
Let's see.
back.
Let's
We'll
bring you back
continue
into
that
the
work.
body.
We'll
Yep.
continue that work over there.
We're
I'm gonna
gonna we're gonna
spirit split
continue that
there.
work on another day.
Okay.
All right. So just bringing you back into the body.